Hello everyone, how are you today? I am going to do this pattern today. It's called Clem. It's an older pattern from 2016, Erica Bonham Collette. And basically it's in a grid pattern. You're just going to put a triangle facing toward the middle, and then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to do sort of a rounded bit around that triangle, and then you're just going to put two little lines with dots in the middle, and that's all there is to it. And I like how she did this sample with, she must have done a pencil grid and then erased the grid lines in between. I like this. So that is where I'm going to go with it today. Turn on my light. And where did I put my, oh, there it is. So I'm gonna put a little, no lead coming out there. I have to scooch my pencil in a little bit. Just like that. And then let's do half like that. And then let's do this and this and this and this and that. So there's my super light grid. There you go. You can see it. I've just made some squares, and that's where I'm going to start with my drawing number 5. Sure, why not? Using a number 5 multi-liner in case anybody cares. And I'm just going to go triangle, triangle, triangle. Just like that. Super simple. That, and then here, and here, and here, like that. I like that my squares weren't even, so my little triangles are a little more organic, and I'm kind of rounding them. I like that look. That looks cool. Oh, come on. Phone turned off. Come on. Turn back on. Perfect. Okay. And then we need this rounded bit. So we're going to round all of these edges. And I just leave it all in one direction and then turn it and do the other directions. This is just easiest on my hand. So Always make sure you're doing whatever is easiest for your hand. That is 100%. You guys binge watching anything recently on TV? We don't watch a whole lot of TV, but, and I might have mentioned this on a previous video, I don't remember now, but we're watching on the BYU channel. It's a free channel on our Roku TV. Watching called Relative Race. It's pretty cool. It's a little bit of a cross between genealogy and The Amazing Race. And families are competing. At the end of each day, they're looking to find a relative. And, you know, some of them are distant cousins and things. But some of them are very heart-wrenching stories where people find their parents they've been looking for. They've been adopted and they never knew their parents, or they got separated from siblings when they were little and they're finding their sisters and brothers and aunts and uncles, and really cool. Other people don't have that missing link in their family, and so they're finding more distant relatives. That they didn't know about, you know, or they're meeting people like their grandmother's sister or something like that, people that they never knew were around. Or cousins that grew up, like somebody met a cousin who was raised with his dad. So she knew all about his dad, even though dad is no longer, you know, of this earth. So he was able to have personal stories of what dad was like. Really cool. I'm super into this. We are on season 4. I want to say we're in season 4. For some reason, season 1 isn't on the archive on that channel. I don't know if they just didn't archive it. They didn't think it was going to go, or they had problems. I don't know, but season 1 is not there. So we started with season 2. And now we're in season 4. And each season they change a few things up, change the rules a little bit so that... and they're not allowed to use their cell phones. So they don't have GPS, they have the old-fashioned maps. And some of them are better at map reading than others. Some of them have navigational difficulties. One family that I was watching last night ended up in a city that had a lot of one-way streets. That was causing them all sorts of problems. Especially when the one-way street isn't like listed on your map, or they don't have a city map. They just have a big regional map. That's tough. I like that. I like where that went. Let me erase my guidelines. And I'm going to put a border. Goodness sakes. Okay, let's do a border about here-ish. Like that, maybe. Something like that. And we'll use our brush pen if I can find it. Brush. I'm going to make a background. First, I'm going to draw the border. this. Something like that. And then I'm just going to fill in this background bit. Do you guys have relatives that you wish you'd known, or you wish that you think maybe are out there that you'd like to find? Neither my husband nor I have that. My mom and my aunt done a lot of genealogy. And if there was a distant cousin out there that we could have met, they've already done that. They've found these people, they've met them, they've contacted them. There are no missing people in my family tree. Now, are there still research to do, because my mom is now back into the, 1500s, 1400s, something like that, way back, and records are becoming near impossible to find. So there's a kind of a limit, physical limit, to how far back you can really go, depending on your lineage, if there were even records. But it is fun to see who you are related to. Do you have anybody famous on your side of the family? Closest thing I get to famous is, I don't know if they even teach this in school anymore. They used to teach. I have an explorer on my side of the family. He was my great-grandmother's uncle. The explorer, Dr. I think his name is Stanley Livingston. Who did a lot of exploring in Africa. And yeah, so he was an uncle of my great-grandmother. So I think that's pretty cool. Don't remember if there's anybody else famous. My mom might have dug up some other connections, but I don't recall them. That's the only one I really remember, because I remember my great-grandma. I have memories of her. She used to babysit us when we were little. I think she passed on when I was, I want to say 7 or 8 years old, because I was old enough to have been going to school, and she would watch us after school. We would walk home to the apartment building, and she lived in the apartments next door, and so she would watch us after school till my mom got home, and she would tell me stories about her famous uncle who explored the world. And you know what? It is highly likely, as a matter of fact, it's entirely probable that many of the stories of his adventures that she just made up as ways to keep us engaged in storytelling, she might have made whole things out of whole cloth. I wouldn't know. But I do know that he existed. I know he's a real person. I know the things he did are the things she said he did, but she made them into stories like she was there. And I know that that's not possible. And I don't know if she ever physically heard, like if her uncle came home from some of his adventures and told her stories, or if she's just made things up based on where he was and what she thought he might have done in his day. So that I can't tell you. and they're very old, fuzzy memories to me, the stories that she told. So they may be wholly inaccurate. But they're fun. So do you guys have a relative like that? Let me know if you have a relative that could be considered famous. Whether he or she is super famous or just famous in your neck of the woods. Because, like, my great-grandma's not famous in any stretch of the imagination. If I told you her name, it would not ring a bell. She didn't do anything noteworthy of that people would have put down in a history book. But what she did was she's an honest, hard-working woman who worked as a basically as a servant most of her life. And when she was old enough to not do that anymore, she watched us. And I don't know, was that horribly hard on her? Could have been. Were we perfect children? No, we were not. Were we the worst children in the world? No, probably not. I have seen way worse behaved children in my days at the cashier station at my work. There were some kids who were just awful, poorly behaved. We wouldn't have been like that. We were too shy. But I'm sure we were not saints. Because no one is. Really, honestly, no one is. Okay, so far so good. I like how that is going. What was its name? Its name was Clem, right? Let me check just to make sure. It's turned itself off. Yes, Clem. Alright, I feel like I want to put some color on here. I'm going to erase more of these pencil marks. Really got more pencil marks here than I anticipated. Oh, that's my border, my general border thought. Okay, so now I think I'm going to use those shiny metallic markers that I got the other day, or that I found the other day. Let's start with gold. Do gold here. That's interesting. The gold looks kind of green. Maybe if it dries, it'll dry less green. It looks kind of greenish. Interesting. I can sort of see the metallic, but it kind of looks kind of greenish. Not sure I like that. Let's use the copper one instead. Copper is very brown. tip is really fat. It's kind of hard to get into that area. So I'm a little over my lines, but that's all right. Like that. Okay. Kind of giving me 70s vibes here. Let's do blue. Ooh, I like the blue. Oh yeah, I like the blue. Okay. I must remember to go out and change the laundry. Working on laundering linens today. Today is towels and bed sheets. But I'm not a very good laundry person. My husband likes to do laundry. I'm not very good at it, and I forget that it's there. And then it takes me all day because I forget that it's there. So instead of going out and changing it right away when each load is done, it could be 2 or 3 hours later, and I remember, oh gosh, yes, I'm doing laundry. And so it just takes me all stinking day to do laundry. Not my favorite task. Do you guys like to do laundry? Let me know. There are some people who love to do the laundry. They get joy and satisfaction out of having it clean and fresh. And I love sleeping in fresh sheets. That feels great. But oh my gosh, changing the sheets is so hard. I'm not strong enough for that job. Although I do need to do the downstairs guest bed because if our guests are only there for a couple of days and the same guests are coming back, I don't bother with changing the sheets right after they leave. Because they're going to be the same ones sleeping in them the next time they come, and they were only here a day or two. Doesn't make much sense. But the next guests that will be coming in about 2 weeks are related, but they're not the same people. So they need clean sheets. And I'm going to guess that they're not even going to use the bed. They usually come with their mom and dad, and mom and dad aren't coming. Mom and dad usually get the bed. The kids usually sleep on the pull-out sofas. And I'm suspecting that even though mom and dad aren't coming, that the kids aren't going to want to sleep in their bed. I just have this feeling. So they may not need it, but that's okay. We can clean the sheets anyway. I like that. I like how that came out. That looks very retro, very 70s retro. Cool. I like it. Can you guys see this shimmer? It just shimmers just a little bit. I like how that came out. Easy, quick, painless. Why won't my camera zoom? It's having issues with the zoom. My ring light is in the wrong spot, I think. I can't get my finger in there to push the zoom button. Anyway, okay. You guys have a great day. I'm going to figure out what I want to draw for the next video, but I do have to be very, very careful and charge my microphone. I have discovered that the microphone that used to last 3 or 4 hours now only lasts about an hour and a half. And then it needs to be plugged in. I keep losing audio, and I've had to redraw. had to redraw this one. I drew something completely different rather than the thing I did yesterday on the last video, because I can't remember what I drew last time, so I couldn't even redraw it. This one I used a pattern so I could redraw it. The other one I didn't, so it was just lost in the void. Had no audio. So what I got to do is I got to draw a couple, and then I have to plug everything in, take a break, and then come back and draw again. So I have to do that. I have to think about it, because I'm behind. All right, you guys have a great day. I will see you on another video sometime. And yeah, I'll go change the laundry and let these batteries charge up a bit. And I'll be back. See you later. Bye-bye.